welcome to Boogie Mama Riffs. Today we're going to be doing a review on two different albums. One, Sabbath, Live Evil versus Ozzy Osbourne, Speak of the Devil. Now, as you know on this channel, it isn't a competition between Live Evil versus Speak of the Devil. It's just a back-to-back review of the two albums put together at once. And as you know, Vesty, my dog, always comes in and joins in on our videos. So today we're going to be talking about Live Evil and Speak of the Devil, one by Black Sabbath post Ozzy Osbourne with Ronnie James Dio, and two, Ozzy Osbourne's first solo project as a live official release. Now, Live Evil was actually recorded on the Mob Rules tour in 1991, 1981 versus and 1982, whatever it is. And Sabbath's first, sorry, my dog was here. Forgive me, I'm going to cut this bit out. Seriously, my dog Vesty, you guys know him, her. She always comes in as I'm starting the video and it makes me look unprofessional. So between 1981 and 1982, Black Sabbath on the Mob Rules tour, it was Live Evil was Sabbath's first official live release, and the backstory involves like mixing conspiracies, shall we say, and apparently, you know, Ronnie James Dio and the drummer Vinny Appice, they were going in the studio during the day, and apparently Tony Iommi and Geezer were going in at night, and there was something to do with I'm not sure that the engineer or the producer or whatever, the mixer was, you know, on something, and they said, man, look, there was conflicting stories, so there was some controversies there. And also there was rivalry at that time, about 1981, 1982, between Ozzy Osbourne and Sabbath, because Sabbath, God bless him, sacked Ozzy and he became bigger and more famous than any of them. But yeah, it was just amazing how there was those two different albums at the same time. So that's why I thought I'd do a back-to-back today review on that. Sabbath, Live Evil versus Ozzy, Speak of the Devil. And Speak of the Devil was 1982, and that was after Randy Rhoads tragically died when an aeroplane, light aircraft, hit the bus that Randy Rhoads was on. And Ozzy Osbourne hadn't released a live album at that stage, and neither had Sabbath, not an official live album. And so the double live album of Speak of the Devil consists entirely of covers of Sabbath tunes on the album. And because Randy Rhoads had passed away, Brad Gillies from the Night Rangers was actually playing guitar, and it was he recorded that instead of Randy Rhoads. And one of the things too I want to say about these two albums, Live Evil versus Speak of the Devil, is that I've listened to these two recently as a little bit of a research for your guys, and yeah, you can imagine that was a tough time for, say, Ozzy Osbourne and the members of the remaining members of Sabbath, and then Dio joining, and then Randy passed away, and then so Ozzy deliberately decided not to use Randy Rhoads' live performances for that album, maybe out of respect. How do we ever know? But today we're going to be doing a back-to-back of Live Evil versus Speak of the Devil, and here we go. Number one, track by track, Live Evil, Neon Nights versus Symptom of the Universe. Oh, yeah, I tell you what, I literally just listened to all these, and Dio Neon Nights live on Live Evil versus Symptom of the Universe, I'm going to give it to Neon Nights. Yeah, that's a good version, a good song. Hello, Vesty, my dog's here. Apologies, everyone. And track number 2 is Nib or NIB on Live Evil versus Snowblind. Now I just listened to that, and one of the things I want to say here on this is in regards to Sabbath and them breaking up with Ozzy, or extricating Ozzy, kicking Ozzy out and bringing Dio in. But in my humble opinion, no one can actually do Sabbath guitar like Tony Iommi. There you go, I've said it. How can you? No one can do it. The man had like 2 fingers, and these 2 were injured. Or these 2 actually, he was left-handed. But Tony Iommi can only play Sabbath. Only Tony Iommi can play Sabbath, and only Ozzy Osbourne can sing Sabbath, in my opinion. But we're doing a back-to-back with Dio versus Sabbath, so let's continue. NIB versus Snowblind. I'm going to give it to NIB actually. Yeah, let's do it. Because Tony Iommi was on it. 3rd song, Children of the Sea versus Black Sabbath. Well, Black Sabbath, for those of you who don't know, isn't actually allowed online on this album of Speak of the Devil. So in the old, I know what you got to do, you got to buy it on CD or record or whatever, but I couldn't listen to Black Sabbath, Speak of the Devil. But if we're going to do Children of the Sea versus Black Sabbath, I'm going to go Children of the Sea. And then number 4, Voodoo by Dio Sabbath versus Fairy West Boots. I'm giving that to Fairy West Boots. That old original Sabbath on this album, I tell you what, whoever's playing guitar, Brad Gillis, he's nearly nailing it on it. Now, number 5 is Black Sabbath versus on Live Evil, Black Sabbath Live Evil versus War Pigs. Well, I didn't hear War Pigs because that was copyrighted, so I'm going to give it to Black Sabbath on Live Evil. Number 6, War Pigs versus The Wizard. I'm going to The Wizard. Man, I tell you what, some of those early Sabbath tracks on this Speak of the Devil album by Ozzy, some of those early Sabbath ones, you got to check them out, man. They are only Tony Iommi, as I said, can do Sabbath, but these guys with the bass and Ozzy, they are nearly nailing it. Number 7, Iron Man versus NIB. I'm going to go Dio Iron Man. Can you believe it? That's it. Number 8, Mob Rules versus Sweet Leaf. Sweet Leaf. I just heard it. It may even be, according to copyright, it may be in the intro of this clip you're watching now. Number 9, Heaven and Hell versus Never Say Die. Heaven and Hell, of course. Sign of the Southern Cross and Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. I just listened to these 2 actually, and I'm going to give it to Sign of the Southern Cross because only Tony Iommi can play Sabbath. And last one, Paranoid, number 11, versus Iron Man, Children of the Grave and Paranoid, versus Paranoid and Children of the Grave. I'm going to give it this one to Ozzy. Okay, well, thank you for watching today. As you know, it's the 1 year since Ozzy Osbourne passed away. Thank you for watching and subscribing to our channel. Remember to click the like and subscribe button, and I'm going to bring something real cool to you next time. Thank you for watching. We're so close to getting up there into the next realm of YouTube, and we'll see you next time.